What's up, degenerates? Today I'm doing something a little bit different. This matter pissed me off a little, so I thought I'd share my view of the situation between Baring and Michael Rowlings and friends, all stemming from this fictional scenario from a TEDx seminar.
Sarah is excited to be going to college. She can't wait to get out of her parents' house, to prove to them that she's an adult, and to prove to her new friends that she belongs. She heads to a campus party where she sees a guy that she has a crush on. Let's call him Brett. The next day, Sarah wakes up with a pounding headache. She can only remember the night in flashes, but what she does remember is throwing up in the hall outside Brett's room, then silently staring at the wall while he was inside her, wanting it to stop, then shakily stumbling home. She doesn't feel good about what happens, but she thinks maybe this is just what sex in college is.
The hypothetical situation does not give enough information to determine any solid evidence of rape. All we know is she was drunk, not passing out, as these fucking manginas keep stressing and stressing. Never anywhere in this situation does it say she was passing out. Not once. We don't know whether she withdrew consent verbally during the encounter. All we know for sure is that she was drunk and she regretted the encounter. This does not add up to rape. Now you see, if Sarah had asked Brett to stop and he didn't, then it's rape, obviously. But to just assume that is disingenuous at best. Thinking you want it to stop and actually making it clear are two totally different things. Context is also a big factor. We don't know why she wanted it to stop. She might have just wanted it to stop because he had a little pecker. We don't have enough information to go on.
Was that if she's got blackouts and if she has periods where she can't remember what happened?
We're talking about a girl who was so drunk that she was, passing out of consciousness and throwing up in the hallway.
Well, the facts that we have that she was going in and out of consciousness.
A person is having sex with a girl who is dropping in and out of consciousness.
Now, a point that was heavily focused in this stream with the manginas and Baring was the fact that Sarah was too intoxicated to give consent. So by default, Brett is a rapist. Fuck nuance. Fuck the facts. He's the man, so he's the rapist. It couldn't be that they were both intoxicated, or that he was maybe more intoxicated and she initiated. The fact that these fucking idiots can't see the nuance in the fact that this is actually quite a fucking grey area. They were both at a party, so there's a high probability that they were both drunk. So if they are both drunk, then who is the rapist?
My point is that she was in a state of consciousness that is not able to give proper consent. Yeah. Therefore, him having sex with her...
But if she initiated it...
Her initiation doesn't fucking matter.
If she initiated it without his consent, then she is committing sexual assault. That was a hypothetical scenario. That was said to demonstrate that he could be the victim of a rape, because there is an assumption here that Sarah is the victim of a rape. That is only based on assumption. So I made the same assumption and applied it to Brett to demonstrate that could happen.
Assumption without any evidence at all.
Well, hang on a sec. At the start of the night, Sarah had a crush on Brett. Sarah went to the party and flirted with Brett. We aren't given the information that Brett chased Sarah, are we? There's more evidence. There's more evidence here that Sarah initiated sex with Brett.
No, we have evidence that she had an attraction towards him. We do have evidence that Brett was inside her while she didn't want it, while she was passing out, while she was throwing up.
That's right. She may have jumped on top of him and put his dick inside.
How does that make sense?
They're not equivalent. They're not equivalent situations.
So you're saying that she was like, when he was inside her, she was like, "Oh, I should stop raping him. Now I feel bad," and that's why she wanted it to stop. Well, because she wanted it to stop.
I wouldn't have a clue why she wanted it to stop.
She wanted it to stop, though.
Yeah,
that's right. We know that fact. We don't know why. Hey, listen. You people last night kept insisting that it is possible for females to rape men as well. Why are you not so zealous about the fact that she didn't get his consent? Why are you not coming down on that side so hard? It seems to me
do
that
have
you
a
have a
point on that.
bias.
But the scenario is so vague that you don't actually have the fucking information that you need in order to make a solid judgment on the matter. But these fucking mongoloids just keep on arguing the same fucking point without it actually thinking on the matter critically.
Well,
You've already agreed that having sex with the girl while she's blacking out, while she's throwing up.
We already know she's going in and out of consciousness, and I guess that's why you wanted your lawyer dude friend on, because
Then Spudboy unwittingly makes himself look like the biggest hypocrite by claiming that people shouldn't just listen to a woman when they make an accusation, whilst for an entire stream he's been sitting doing this exact thing. The lack of self-awareness is fucking mind-boggling.
Can I just address somebody
fact there's
from
a lot of fucking
the
people.
live chat? They said, they made the hypothetical and hilarious argument. Kevin Logan raped me. You've got to believe me because I'm a girl and I'm saying it. I am not suggesting that people just believe them. And by the way, it doesn't really matter whether I believe them or you believe them. It's whether
well,
all
they couldn't
court
point
of
to any
law believes
event
them.
that occurred between you and them.
Let him talk to him. Let him talk.
Relevant.
Right? Yeah. I'm not suggesting that we just believe them. Not for a second.
Yeah, because you'd be like,
But it doesn't
well,
matter.
okay,
It doesn't matter
Shut
whether
up,
I
Tim.
believe them or
Nothing.
you believe them. It's whether a judge and 12 fucking peers believe them in a court of law. That's what matters. That's what I'm suggesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's my argument.
Then they move on to the standard fucking feminist bullshit about teaching boys not to rape, which to me is fucking ridiculous. Everyone knows it's not a good thing to steal, but people still do it. The majority of rapists know that it's bad. They just don't give a fuck. I mean, casually teaching consent to everyone in a school environment is one thing. But victimizing young boys for something the vast majority of them will never even consider, let alone do, is fucking ridiculous. And when Baring points this out, they then go on to say, oh, well, no, it's just an answer to what fucking anti-feminists say, blah, blah, blah. Which is a complete fucking cop-out. Because it's not. There are feminists who actually believe that all men are fucking evil. And that's one of the places where this fucking twisted shit comes from. Julie Bindel is a perfect example of this. If we apply this same logic, shouldn't we be teaching young girls not to abuse children, as the people who commit the most cases of abuse of children is women? But they have the right genitalia, so they get a pass, am I right?
Yes, but the statement is the statement "teach men not to rape" is a direct response to people telling women how to not get raped.
That's a slogan in response to a certain accusation aimed at women. It is not the fundamental statement about rape education.
Then Michael tries to bait Baring into a position where he can scream rape apologist. The whole point of this snakish behaviour is to discredit and dismiss Baring. Then, after this, the three then go on to try and imply that Baring is taking disgusting stances on these blatantly baited questions, when his responses are based in common sense. So this entire debacle is based around feelings and not fact, which is the intended use of this fucking vague scenario. It's to elicit a level of disgust from our own imagination, filling in the blanks.
And you also made the statement that we should, teach women to, prevent themselves from getting raped.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that at all. I said women should, like everyone else, should take precautions. I didn't say we should teach them not to get raped. That's a stupid statement.
The whole time they dogmatically attack Baring for approaching it from a different angle, while making assumptions and putting their own slant on the hypothetical. The fact that they are not self-aware enough to notice this speaks volumes.
And so I think it is immoral to jump to these conclusions and simply blame men because I don't know why. We seem to have stacked all the assumptions against the bloke here and not the girl, and I don't fucking know why. And that is what has got to be in my bonnet.
It's really telling listening to the sycophantic beta lapdogs just regurgitate what their feminist overlords have drummed into their head. The most telling is the last little back and forth where Michael's claims crumble when he's asked to provide examples.
There's an important reason for that, Tim, and that's because it makes me sick to see TEDx talks like this, like very public things that young people watch, that that suggests to young blokes that anything they do is fucking rape. I think it's disgusting. I think it makes
How
people
is that?
feel...
No. Because Chrisiosity, I think, had a very good point, which was saying, like, it's dangerous for men or boys to think that if they do that, they might not get in trouble. And I think in that sense, Chrisiosity is looking out for them.
If they do what? You don't know what happened.
If they do what Brett did, that they could get done for rape. But that's why I think you need to rewatch Chrissy's video again. She made a very good case that. So you have the exact same point of view as Chrissy.
Their rights haven't been infringed in the slightest. Being accused
Chrissy was concerned about
someone
that.
saying something nasty about you is not.
I'm not saying that at all, Kev.
I think that's why Chrissy called you irresponsible, because she was concerned that people would hear a message like that and just see what the fuck.
I think
that is irrelevant. I don't fucking care.
No, it's not irrelevant. Fuck off out of my channel. So that's what the whole argument
irrelevant, because we're trying to have a discussion about consent and how fucked up your ideas are about consent.
We're having a discussion about whether this was fucking rape, convictable rape or not. Now, you've come into this thinking it was something else, mate. So if you're going to keep fucking pushing this, fuck off. That's not what we're talking about.
What she's trying to get at with this hypothetical situation is she's not just making up an arbitrary situation that that's fucking.
Well, then Chrisiosity should have said in a wider sense in other situations, then it could be insinuated. She shouldn't have said bearing in this scenario is being dangerous and he's promoting rape.
Beef with Chrisiosity. I don't fucking care. What I care about is your toxic beliefs about consent. That's what
mate. You're an absolute fuckhead.
I'm a fuckhead because I want to have a discussion with you about consent. That's what my toxic beliefs, mate. We'll have a conversation. Right, toxic beliefs about consent. Toxic beliefs about consent. That's the whole thing. That's what I'm concerned about. That is what I wanted to have.
What am I toxic? What? Okay. Well, look. I didn't. That's not what we came here to have a discussion about.
That's what I said.
But just quickly before I kick you out of this fucking chat room, what are my toxic beliefs about consent, Michael?
That's what I'm trying to understand. That's why I'm asking you these questions.
What? So you don't even understand them, and yet you label them toxic? You fucking idiot.
No, I had an idea about why they were toxic before this. But I'm trying to clarify. That's why I wanted to have the discussion with you rather than going back and forth. You've
made an assumption here about me, just as you have in this case about Brett. And that's why you're a fucking idiot.
Then the next day, this spineless, simpering cockroach releases a video in which he'd spliced together parts of the stream in order to make it look like Bering had said rape is okay.
Bering, let me ask you. If there is a girl who is passing out, like coming in and out of consciousness over a period of the night, she's obviously been drinking a lot because she's throwing up in a hallway. Is it okay to have sex with that girl?
Look. The only thing that I assume there is that rape is okay. I think rape is fucking okay.
This cowardly fucking snake thinks that slanderous behaviour like this is okay, but arguing from a place of logic is not. And before this, they think it's acceptable behaviour to shit-talk someone without allowing him the courtesy of defending himself, then calling him a coward because they didn't allow him on the stream, while they were shit-talking him for nearly 3 hours. Now, he was prepared to debate 6 of them on his own, and they said no, and he's the fucking coward. Bitch, please. The mental gymnastics involved here are just astronomical. I mean, fuck, I shouldn't be surprised by the cognitive dissonance displayed, as this is kind of the group's forte. We all remember how much of a cretinous potato face fuck Kevin Logan is from the White Knighting he did in the Laughing Witch Thunderfoot drama, even though she was clearly being a piece of shit. Now, I don't even really like Thunderfoot, especially after the Brexit bullshit where he blatantly tried to get people to vote based not off the fact of what's best for the future of the UK, but for his own self-interest. But I digress. Going back to the TEDx scenario, the only thing we know for sure is that Sarah regretted sleeping with Brett. But because of the vague explanation of this scenario, and the fact we only have one side, means that no other truthful statements can be made. There's just not enough information. You can't even say that this situation is even rape because A, we don't know Brett's state of inebriation, B, we don't know whether Sarah vocally aired her desire for the sexual encounter to stop, and C, As Baring stressed quite a few times, we don't know who initiated the encounter. So therefore you can't make any solid statements. We don't know, so automatically joining the dots in your head so this becomes rape is a misinterpretation in itself. But that's just my take on the situation. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you don't know what's going on or want to see the full story unfold, links in the description. I've been your host, AAA. I'll catch you on the flip. Peace. Check your privilege signal.